third graders. In the last day or two, we've been talking about real world addition and subtraction problems. And when we've been doing this, we've been using a strategy called the total part strategy. And we're going to continue to do that today, except we're also going to introduce a review of a skill that you worked really hard on last year. And that would be when we need to add, when we need to regroup numbers. So today, our math focus is I can use addition and subtraction to solve real-world and mathematical problems. So, we talked the other day about what adding means, which is to combine. Adding means to combine or to put together into known quantities. Then we also talked about what the word sum meant. And the sum is really the answer to an addition problem. So a lot of times you'll hear me talk about the sum of this problem, and what that really means is the answer to an addition problem, and shown in the example right there. So today we're going to talk about another word that you know very well from last year, and that word is called regrouping. And we're going to get to that in just a second after we look at this problem. So our first job right here is to read our real world problem, which is the following. 1. Miss McGregor ate 247 grapes. Sadiq ate 97 grapes. How many grapes did they eat all together? Stop. Okay, remember I told you that my husband does educational testing for a living, so I learn all sorts of great tricks from him. And one of those tricks, and that's really important practice to start doing right away as you're doing word problems, is to make sure that you're reading it twice. Okay? So you can really go back and think to yourself, what are they asking for? And you can really start thinking about the amounts and what you need to do. So let's do that together. Miss McGregor ate 247 grapes. Sadiq ate 97 grapes. Okay, so now I kind of know the amounts. How many grapes did they eat all together? That word all together is telling me they're asking me how many do they have in the total amounts. So it's telling me right there, I know that I'm going to need to add when I try to solve this problem. So already I know a lot of information. I know I have two amounts. I'm going to need to add them to find out the total amounts that we have together. So I know my two parts that I'm going to add together to get the total are, one of the parts is 247, and the other part is 97. So I have 247 grapes, and I'm going to add 97 grapes to it, and then we're going to find out the total number of grapes that Sadiq and I ate together. So in order to do this, the first thing we're going to do is when we add any numbers, we need to line them up, make sure in the ones place, in the ones column. So I'm putting the biggest number on top, and I have 247 right here, and now I'm going to add. Now I'm going to add 97 here. I did something wrong. Why don't you, if you don't know what it is, why don't you pause the video and stop and think about what that is. Okay, you're back? Sounds good. What I did wrong is I didn't line up my numbers in that ones column. So they need to be lined up, and here I am right now lining them up in ones column. Now I'm ready to add. So I've gotten to the point where I'm ready to do the algorithm of adding. So I'm going to, excuse me, I am going to add, and I'm going to start in that ones column first. So I'm going to add 7 plus 7. So I know 7 plus 7 is 14. But I can only put one digit right here in the column underneath there. I can only put one digit. I know 7 plus 7 equals 14. But I can only put one digit there. So what I'm going to have to do is called regrouping. Okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that last digit, the digit in the ones place, and I'm going to put it below right here. You guys remember this. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this set of tens, because I'm taking that one set of tens and I'm moving it over to the tens column. So now we're going to add all the tens together, and I have to be really careful to make sure I'm adding that tens on the top. So here I am. I'm going to add it any way I'd like, but I like to usually go in one direction. So I'm going to go 9 plus 4, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, plus another one is 14. Now, I can't fit two numbers in that column right there, so I'm going to do the same thing here with my 14, because I got 14 again. So I'm going to put the 4 from right here in the tens, And then I'm going to carry that one set of tens. I'm going to move it over into the hundreds place. So now I have to add 1 plus 2 plus this blank. Whenever you see this blank, you have to read it as a 0. So sometimes what I do is I fill in that blank spot with a little dotted 0 to remind me that's always what I work with in that section. So now I'm going to add 1 plus 2, which gives me 3. Wow. So I know my answer is 344. But remember, think to yourself, 344 what? 344 cars? 344 snowmobiles? No, it's 344 grapes. So I'm going to be careful to write that in as 344 grapes. Not 344 meows for my cat, but 344 grapes right there. So, cat. So, you can see this is our process, our algorithm with adding. So, as you do your work today, you're going to be working with some real life addition problems, and you are going to be showing me what a master you are at regrouping. Have a great day, third graders!